some of my short videos. I have a Yeti. This Yeti I made a while. We made it last year, and this was like a Yeti. I was watching the one from the Misfits Misfits Island of Misfit Toys. You know, the Runner's Reindeer. They had the special claymation thing, and I just totally decided. And also watched the movie Smallfoot, and I made this in honor of the whole Smallfoot thing. And then he has a good luck human charm that hangs around his neck, which is pretty much his buddy. And then I have a lady figure here. Lady, before I had no hands and I added arms to her. Now she has hands and she's totally like freakishly huge arms, right? But she's still, pretty much going to use some milliput back there to go ahead and just kind of fill her up and make her face and everything like that, and do some description on that. And then also I have a mummy. I have a mummy. I just have a daddy, but I also have a mummy right here. And so I just made this out of blue tape. Well, just pretty much just the extremities are blue tape. And we're gonna go ahead and do some work on that. I was trying to make like a zombie type thing with my first ever zombie, and that's pretty much a mummy is a zombie, when you think about it. So yeah, it's undead. It's a special undead. And it's a zombie with powers. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna just jack this up a little higher right here. Right, gonna put it like so. I'm gonna move on in. Let's get this party started. If you know what you know, then you know what you know. What you know is that that it's been like here in New York, it's been like crazy. They actually had like a complete like shutdown of like just a lot of things. One for us was work, so my job had a chance where it just did like a shutdown from my work, which I'm truly grateful for. Right, to which I'm truly grateful for, because I got a chance to be home with the family. We watched a bunch of movies, and we also watched the Formula One movie, which I watched before, but now I get a chance to actually do this again, and that was great. So I watched it with my kids because they didn't get a chance to see it, and so now they get a chance to watch it with me. And we watched it last night, and it was pretty cool. I liked it watching the second time. It was different though. It's kind of like the second time watch, I got a different feel for it the second time, whereas the first time I watched it, I was like, I felt like it was missing something, but it seemed like when I look back at it, I think that what it did miss. Well, I loved the whole car aspect of it. I actually got one of the Lego sets of the APX GP. Right, it's on the Apex vehicles. It was really cool. And then they talked about how it's like they made them in this first like electric vehicle they made, race car, because they said all the stop and start would cause the car to explode if it was real life. But what happens is like they made an electric one, so it was just so cool. So anyway, it's an electrical race car, first ever electric race car, and they did a real good job with that. Anyway, so with the movie, I felt as though watching the Formula One movie that they had this aspect where it was like, you have it where I felt like the character had no arc. Like I felt like Brad Pitt's character didn't have much of an arc. Like an arc being that he had something he had to overcome. It was kind of like he had already overcome it, right? Overcome the situation. So when he started the movie, he was already like, beating the system. He already knew how to fight the system and deal with his past demons and stuff like that. So it was kind of like no surprise there. And so upon second watch, I just realized that it really had no like overcoming obstacles that I thought would be kind of like a cool thing. Instead it was like it just seemed to kind of reiterate, the point of winning. But it was to show that he was not like I don't want to spoil the whole movie for you, but I'll just kind of say a couple things. The things that happen in the movie were really cool, and it shows about people dealing with past things and struggles and stuff like that, trying to make better themselves, and that in of itself is a blessing, because that goes to show that people are willing to and can actually supersede and become better in time, which is great. It's a great thing to become better in time. However, in this situation with him, he had no arc. He didn't actually get better, and he just kind of continued to stay the same. It's kind of like my son, when I were watching this, because the same director who made the Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, right? He says, "Hey, Patrick Chavez." So what happens? Like the same one who made the Maverick, the producers, right? And I think it was like this. Jerry Bruckheimer did a lot of this stuff. He was a really good director, but he did Top Gun Maverick. And my son was like comparing it, the two of the movies, the Top Gun Maverick and F1. And I think like I'm gonna watch like most Michael Crichton type videos, movies, or read his books. I always has this thing where it's a huge technological advantage, and it eventually devolves into just kind of like rudimentary. Like it becomes like just everyday talking. It goes from being like super sophisticated, a lot of build up, and then the build up kind of breaks down to just simplicity. and it goes back to human element, which is kind of like most things. But the thing is, like, when you have it like the situation where it's like in this movie, I really did not see the arc of his character in terms of like he had to overcome something. He only had to overcome something when it just kind of he lost his trinkets that kind of made him, focus, and he had to next scene he had to recover it. So that's kind of really messed him up, in terms of like understanding. But what the catharsis was like, I tried to, how can I compare to this? How can I find myself in this movie? Like I would watch this thing, right? This F1. I was saying to myself, it's like, how do you compare to this movie? Like in my own personal life. Because when I watch a movie, I try to like have something that I can grow by or learn from, and then from there, I'm able to like take pieces of it and then go like everything. Every time you watch a movie or watch a show, you have to kind of do that because otherwise you're kind of wasting your time, or maybe it's just an escape type thing. But this wasn't an escape for me. It was like watching it was more or less a thing about like just understanding like what does it mean to be a man, what does it mean for a man to make his mark in this world. And then I was just listening to this thing right before this about like what is the human race marching toward, we as humans marching toward, because it's like there's many times in the movie F1 movie that said about like the Formula One movie, it said about why are we even doing this. Why are we doing, and they never really quite answer that question you know but it's like it made that's one question made me think about the future. It says, why are we doing what we do? Why do I sit here and paint this Yeti for you to watch? Why do I do that? Because I guess in down deep I just have this thing where I want to just kind of keep a documentation about this for the future, to one day I look back on it and be like, oh yeah, I did that, it was really cool, kind of thing. And then also just the fact is that somebody may want to know about FX paint or something, and they may not know about it, and how to paint a Yeti. I'm not so concerned about people. I mean, it's about people not being able to paint a Yeti. I think anybody can paint a Yeti. I'm just thinking about in terms of like just it's like a record. We do this to make a record, to do something we've never done before. And in the case of like the F1 racers, I really admire their resolve. It's like you're flying a spaceship. They're driving a spaceship on the ground, and its design is. First I thought about the funny cars and all that stuff with the big wheels and the different Formula ones, but they have the NASCAR as a contest when they start, and they go to the intensity and the precision of Formula One. How it's like it's down to like half a turn, this turn, the human element and stuff. How scary and how intense it is, and that's pretty exhilarating. I mean, as me being a driver myself, I like to drive. I don't drive to that extent, and then I learned later that when Brad Pitt was driving in this movie, he was actually driving the car for real. Like, they had cameras on the thing, and they had to bring him up to speed, obviously, because he's not a professional race car driver. It takes years for them to get the instinct and stuff, but still, he was able to drive up to that speed of 200, maybe 100, 200 miles an hour around the track, and that only comes through practice. And so they let him practice and stuff, which I think is amazing. And so the thing is, people talk about them driving like really fast, and they're doing the 70 and the 80 miles an hour on the highway, but when you're driving a pretty much a precision spaceship, and you're going like 200 miles an hour, just 200, 210 miles an hour driving, that requires such precision and such energy. They say all kind of G forces on your neck and all stuff as you do this, all kind of stuff that affects your body in so many different ways. Where's my cap? I just lost my cap. Where's my cap? Where is my cap? It's probably gonna do one of these things, right? Did you guys see where I put the cap? Because it's never good to leave this thing open. Nearly. Okay, so let me see. Okay, maybe it fell out in the back. No, the millie put just fell down back there. Okay, I don't know where my cap is. Oh goodness. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go look for it and find it, because if you don't, you're gonna find it somewhere in the house. You know what? I'll just keep talking. It'll present itself. Anyway, so what happens is like this one here. Look how nice and bright he is. Nice and bright, nice and much brighter. Yeah, there is. There's a cap. See? Okay, cool. See? Just keep going, and then you'll find the thing you're looking for. So there he is. This white is so cool. It's like it becomes like a latex, and it just kind of encompasses him. It covers him up, right? There's that. Make sure you get this parts right here, all good. My thing is like when I was watching the movie, right? I was saying about what it is. Oh goodness, I got it in his ears. See, the thing is, I don't have any more blue. This blue is gone. I don't have any more blue. So whatever you see here, this is kind of it. They were saying that like the movie, like we driving that race car is like it was crazy. I was thinking about like how it'd be such a cool thing. There's an aspect in the movie too that talked about like this other race that I was going to take my son to when he got old enough. It's called the Baja 1000, and the Baja 1000 is like it's like you drive in like I just I like that. I like the whole thing. Being a driver, I used to be a city taxi driver, and I drove yellow cab, and pretty much I just enjoyed it. That was like driving a missile. That was like the fastest car with such power driving these cars, man. I'm telling you, it's an amazing thing. And so the car I drive now is just a family car. It's a it's not a race car or nothing like that. But I do like the race cars. I do like the speed of it. I like the precision of machines. That's where I like being able to work on your own car. Like for example, my older sister, she was all into airplanes, right? So she actually did the whole airplane thing, and she got a chance to to fly a plane, and she got a chance to fix planes. And so it was one of the things. So when she got into the military and she become part of the not the crazy military like not crazy military, but crazy military in terms of like full time. She did the Air National Guard, and she was able to go ahead and do work with the big jets and stuff and help refueling them and help maintaining them and stuff. And that was for me, that was great because like when she went to school here, she went to like a high school that kind of maintained and it was all about like aerodynamics and aeronautics and stuff. Then she went to college for that, and so she'd always bring home some cool stuff, and she had these cool books from Time Life and stuff like that. And they had all these cool books and things, and I was just like I totally just love reading them. So she still has them, and then whenever I go to her house upstate, I would go see them. Oh, look, I'm getting white paint on everything. Yeah, white paint on everything. It's like, oh, I should paint your bones too there. Paint your bones. Paint your friend's bones, right? Let's do that real quick. Since, like, I don't know, maybe it's good to have the rough color bones. Then again, probably it's good. I'm going to paint you. Why not? Just give you some bone color. There you go. Give you nice, fresh bones. Like, oh, it's painting my face. Yes, painted the bones in the face. So what happens is like, so she did that. And so I was always fascinated. My favorite airplane is the SR-71. Those who know it is the big blackbird. It's like it was called made by Skunk Works, and what it has is that it's one of the fastest non-lethal vehicles ever made. It's made for reconnaissance, and what it does is that it's able to fly like 3 times faster than the speed of sound. So it's like Mach 3.4. Pretty fast. I mean, there's new planes now to do faster than that, And I was watching the watch Top Gun Maverick, and he had it where he's flying the Dark Star and all that stuff. And I mean, there is an actual plane, the Dark Star, but it's like the thing was like he was flying that one, and he wrecked it, which was fun because it was like just it's kind of cool when people wreck stuff that's like really experimental. It's like, yeah, I did it. But for the most part though, that was kind of the fun part of it. But my favorite part about it was a game I used to have called Birds of Prey. Right, and Birds of Prey was you get to fly 40 different jets. It was I have it somewhere over on the shelf right there, and it's like it used to be a part of my computer systems, right? And the computer system had this thing where it was like it was a Amiga 500, right? The game was on Amiga 500. The game cost about $50, I think, $49.99, and it was you get to fly 40 different jets, 40 like propeller planes. You get to fly, the SR-71, of course. You get to fly the B2. You get to fly the B1. You get to fly the F-117. You get to fly all the experimental, and you get to fly the Russian jets too. And so that was always a cool thing because when you did that, you get a chance to actually just fly and then taxi it, and you had things where you had to land on the carrier, land on a carrier landing. You had to do carrier takeoff, and you started with the hangar, and that was such a cool thing. I remember reading that book. I remember that was such the feeling of it all, and just like the whole aspect of like there it is, you get a chance to actually fly and get to do recon. And one of the things was that in the SR-71, you had to do a recon over the enemy camp, and they couldn't shoot you down because you were faster than all their missiles. But you couldn't stay like that speed forever because what happens is that you'd burn up all your fuel. So you had to do like mid-air refueling, and that was cool. You'd have to do like you couldn't do the afterburner forever. And there's also you get to fly the X-15. The X-15 was like pretty cool because you had this thing where it was like you got a chance to do an experimental plane. Started on the wings of the B-52, and they would drop you, and then you had to remote pilot the X-15 from first the remote pilot it, then you had to go inside and pilot it. So drop it and then get on board and then pilot it. And I found the best way not to do is not to move anything, just kind of go straight up and back down and land wherever, and that was so cool. And you put your skis down and you would land on the ground, and that's when video games were cool, man. That's when they made cool games and did cool stuff for people. I mean, video games are still cool, by the way, but it was not as addicting. It was more like it was an experience. It was an adventure, and I just absolutely loved it. I thought it was one of the coolest, the greatest things, and just be able to play a video game, enjoy a video game, and have that game teach me stuff, and I'd go and like just draw, and then my sister would have like all her cool stuff with their playing to learn about that. And so I like the whole machinery when mankind makes machines that work really well. The whole aspect of like you can do so many things with a car that you can't do. I mean, people had horses before, and now everybody's like all into the defend the horses and stuff, like make sure the horses are okay, and I say all the conditions of how horses. But people had horses for thousands of years, and so but now it's like horses and horse and buggies and stuff. So now they kind of killed that industry in New York. So the thing is, like, next best thing is cars, and they're trying to kill that industry too. Trying to make it into something. And the whole electric car thing didn't work out so well. Apparently, it seems like electric cars don't work so well in snow. So that's a trouble. So that was there. That didn't work out. But anyways, for the most part, though, hey, look at you, nice and shiny bones. Yes, give the bone a makeover. That's cool. Probably seal you up. All right, so we have that one. All right, so that's two. Right. Next one we have is the mummy. Well, do I want to do the mummy? I should do the mummy, right? Oh, you know what I could do? Oh, this one would be cool. I have this guy here. I have this Carnotaur. Would it be cool to have a white Carnotaur, like Indominus or something? The Indominus Rex. I haven't eaten like a little baby sauropod. I don't know. Maybe we should go to the lady and then do that one here, because what happens is that this is I'll just put it back. Let's see. Maybe I'll do the that one. I have to go back and do a quality control, make sure I got everything, and get this hair and stuff. This one here might be cool to paint white. I'm not sure. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should go to the milliput. Let's go to the milliput, right? Let's go switch out these gloves and go to milliput. I'm going to dry off my brush and go to the milliput right now, because I know everybody wants to see milliput. Me work on a milliput, so I have to. Do I even need to change these gloves? I mean, it would change the dimension and the dynamic of it, but okay. So what we're going to do? We're going to get the piece here, right? Take this here. Take this gem. You're going to put this back on. Then we're going to go and work on the milliput, right? Well, maybe I should change gloves. I'll just do that real quick. Hold on. Because I'll seal this up, put this out of the way. Right. And then let's switch out our gloves. Because the reason why I would keep the gloves is so that it wouldn't, get the milliput. Let's see, here it goes, nice and clean. These gloves are the best gloves. These gloves are called Venom, and they're double-sided. And it's chemical resistant, and it's also like, oil resistant, so it protects your hands from all manner of paint. Very good. Sorry. Very good. Gonna come back to that Yeti. All right, let's do this milliput thing, because I've been like wanting to do this. Last time I did the milliput something was I made this creature here, this creature, and this face is like something. Oh my goodness, this is a crazy face. But let's go ahead and do this with the milliput. And so my mentor, not my mentor, but the person who I learned this from, what he did was that he had this thing where, get this milliput. He had this thing where he used milliput, right, to sculpt. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do that too, right? So here I go. Oh, I got paint on my hand because I moved something real quick. But here it goes. All right, so please feel free to ask me any question in the chat as I do this. Ask me, why am I doing this? I do this because I can, and I enjoy doing it. So I will. So let's go ahead and do this. Feel free to ask me any questions in the chat as I do this. Let's go ahead and make this happen, shall we? So I'm going to move you over there. I'm going to work on this lady right here. Going to give her some milliput accessories. Let's go ahead and just define and see what we can do. As for my skeleton and my Yeti, for size, I should move you guys out of the way, just so I don't like destroy this. Look, I already got paint on my hands. See? Not good, not good, not good. So, what's I'm going to do? I'm going to move it out of the way. Actually, I have no space to move it out of the way. I'm going to have to just work in this corner. Take you guys out of here, and take you out of here too. Boom. Put you right there. Hey, how you doing? Thomas Pokemon 2017. That's a cool name. All right. Ask me any questions. Feel free. And I live here in New York. That's usually a big one. Everybody wants to know where I live. I live in New York City. Yeah, we just experienced this big snowstorm. This is the two things here. And the snowstorm is right now in their position of dealing with aftermath. Excuse me for a second. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I hit the thing. This right here. Hi, King Julian. King Julian. That sounds like it was so cool from like Madagascar. probably where you got the name from. That's so cool. So here's this, right? Milliput is like two types of material, right? It's like one is this one, and it becomes rock hard. I mean, I kid you not. This clay does not joke. Yeah, King Julian 31. That's a cool name. That's a really cool name. That's King Juliet. I'm coming, King Juliet. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Hold on a second. I'm gonna cough again. So. I'm sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. That was like just kind of push away the microphone for a second there. All right, let's see what we can do. All right, so there's one piece here, one piece of chocolate, another piece of white chocolate. It's not chocolate, by the way. It's actually epoxy clay. And the thing is, let's go ahead and form this person. I'm going to do this because why not? Let's have a ball with this. Let's see. We have this piece here. We're going to take about this piece, right? This piece here. Take this piece, and then try and make it about the same. So this hand here, this part, this much. You know, I always wonder if I should use water for this thing. You know, anybody knows about using Milliput? You have to use water. I mean, it doesn't say that about using water. It says some of the uses of Milliput: model making, sculpting, boat repair. This is good stuff. This when it hardens, it's like a rock. I kid you not. So you can make any shape, and it'll hold that shape forever. It's just like you can, you know, afterwards, like battery, radiators, exhausts, right? You can just all kinds of household repairs. I did it for the door. Mix equal quantities of 2 sticks by rolling and kneading at least 5 minutes until the color is uniform and free from streaks. Milliput becomes rock hard in 3 to 4 hours at normal room temperature. Store in cool, dry conditions. Always advisable to wear gloves. Further instruction on any products can be found on the website of Milliput. So there's that. The versatile epoxy putty, which is highly adhesive to most materials. Milliput can be sculpted and once cured, be machined, drilled, tapped, turned, filed, sawed, sandpapered, and painted. Made in the UK. Yeah, Milliput. Wales. It's made in Wales. So, you know, so we got that there. So here's this right here. This is this. Okay, so there's one here. What about that? Okay, so we have these two pieces right here. Let's go ahead and put these back. I have to get more of this Milliput because I have to source material. This is some good stuff, you know. Plastic here and there. Put it back in its container. You know, try your best to make sure you keep things good and good, because if you don't, things get bad and bad. So there's that there. There's this. All right, so let's go ahead and sculpt, shall we? So here we go. This is one piece, and this is another piece. Got to take it and I got to mix it together. I wonder how you mix it with water. It doesn't say anything about mix it with water, so, but it does. I like the skeleton and the Yeti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know, I had the Yeti and the skeleton, right? This is the skeleton right here. Right, what happens is like he's like the good luck charm, you know, so he wears it like a necklace, you know. And it was like I found this somewhere. Oh, I forgot to paint the bottom of his feet. Oh goodness, forgot to paint the bottom of his feet. I have to come back again. Oh dag. Well, oh, look at me getting all distracted. You see that? Oh, I got all distracted again. That's what happens, but it's okay. All right, so at least we have white. Okay, we have a little bit of white in it. I hope it doesn't mess with the situation, but let's gonna keep doing it anyway. So let's do that. So the Yeti is like he was from. There's a movie called Smallfoot, and that was like the Yeti that I was like I totally absolutely loved. I thought it was a cool like design that they made for him. And so the thing is, like, this doesn't seem like it's gonna be a lot of clay to work with, you know. So you got to roll it and knead it and make it together. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get like a big bucket of this Milliput. Milliput is pretty cool. This is like again a shout out to Marcos Makes. He makes dinosaurs and stuff like that. He has an active channel on YouTube. Pretty much I've been following him for a couple of years now, and so I started back in 2019 with this stuff, and I just recently like last year got Milliput. So it was like almost 6 years into it when I finally got my first Milliput, and I was like, oh my word, I finally got it. And I had to have it. I had to buy this. I think it was like last year or the year before, maybe. I think, well, anyway, so I've been doing this sculpting art like since 2019, and he's been doing this for some time too, because it was when he started doing the he did like a Spinosaurus and stuff. He made this really cool Spinosaurus, and that really kind of like got me, because what he did was that instead of him making with wire and wire armature, he used masking tape. So he made like a masking tape structure, right? And then he covered it with epoxy. The thing about this, right, is like if you put this in the wrong spot, it's gonna become rock hard. It'll be like stuck like a statue forever. If you put this in like in a good spot, like for example, like right here on the legs, if I put on her legs right there, this is good because that part of the leg don't bend, right? That part of the leg don't bend either. But if you put it like, you know, like on her neck or something like that, you see right here, because the whole masking tape thing, you can move a person and they had to keep the shape. There's nothing inside here but masking. She's a 100% masking tape, right? 100%. And it's like I know how to make the body and the joints work so that it looks like a person with the whole body person like movement. This is actually like the thought was I actually had a class where I had people actually pose for us. We would sculpt them. We'd actually sculpt them with masking tape, not on them, but of them. So we'd have like a little figure, and I would start them off the people. And what I would do was that we just kind of sit there, and we'd make the people with the base. So it's a very simple thing, but it's a lot about adding details to the people, adding details, because what happens is like when you do these things, it's you can't. I mean, if you're drawing a picture, it's easy to make strokes, but it takes a lifetime just to get it just right, right? But anyway, so it takes a lifetime to get it just right. But for the most part, though, this is going to be the first time I'm ever going to make a person with millipods like this, other than the snake, the monster lady that I made before. Now, I'm going to have to just layers, and I'm just kind of belaboring a point here, but I'm just going to see if I can just do this real quick. Because it's like, I wonder if it's like a liquidy thing, or it's just like a pressury thing. It doesn't say anything about adding water, but I think water might make it smooth or better. I don't know, because see what happens, it starts to crack. You see that? Anyway, let's just do this. First and foremost, let's go ahead and add that which doesn't move. All right, let's go right to it. All right, let's go ahead and just give her some let's go ahead and give her this things here. Let's make it nice and smooth because it's not going to move. And let's go ahead and culture, because this is what you came to see, right? No, not really. But it's what you pretty much might want to see, because we make and then form her up, because what happens is like this is the formulation. Don't want to use all of it because it's like it has to kind of like be good enough today, and then we can paint it, and then there she can have, so there's that. Right, there's that, and so for the most part, though, it's like, there's the body aspect, then there's the face aspect, because it's like this is pretty cool in terms of like how you can make and function, because what's gonna happen, it's gonna get rock solid in just a few hours, and then it'll be like pretty much sold. It'll be sold, not sold, but it'll be like completely made. This is like the thing is you have to be able to make just enough. You subscribe? Thank you so much, King Julian. I appreciate that. I appreciate, if you have your channel too, then I'll follow your channel back as well. Because like I see all the people who subscribe to my channel, and then later, pretty much in time, I subscribe to their channel as well. So this is this, because what happens when you mix these two together, you may have a situation where it does not come apart, right? But you can make people. The thing is about when I was growing up, I liked the whole thing about like like anatomy, right? I loved the whole thing about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs was my thing. And then when I got older, I was going to go into medicine, like people medicine and stuff, because it was like I realized that dinosaurs are already dead, but people are alive, and then people have, they have use for they need to live, kind of thing. So what happens is like, I thought about using my knowledge and understanding to become like a doctor of sorts, So I was going to, in that I got involved in ministry, like like a ministry, like church ministry and stuff like that, right? And what happened was like I was going to become a medical doctor to the like tribes, go to tribes and stuff like that, go and help people in different countries that didn't have medicine, be like a jungle doctor type thing. And I always wanted to do that. I thought maybe being a jungle doctor would be kind of a cool thing to do, because if you got a chance to do that, you could help people and help them, tell them about Jesus, as well as help them to be physically saved. Because the cool thing about Jesus, he was a healer. He was always healing people, but he did the power, able to heal just by praying, and the fact that he was, God in the flesh. But for the most part, though, he could heal people, and then he did an awesome thing. Whereas, we people have to use different chemicals and medicines and herbs for the healing, just to make sure that people can actually, heal properly and heal right. I'm gonna have to make some more. Let me see. I get like some of the tools. I have some of these tools here. These are some of the tools I was able to purchase, right? I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. And this is some of the cool things. These are like really nifty type stuff. So I'm going to see if I can use some of these things on the formation. Let me just get this out of the way real quick. Just open like this. All right. And then this one here to make some pokey eyes and pokey things and stuff like that. And so the thing is, these ones have like double size. You have like little bladey things. Is this like, it's like a brush? Oh no, it's not a brush. It's a carving tool. Ah, this is cool. So you have that there, carving tooly thing. I'm gonna put this over here. Are you done? The Yeti. I've made the Yeti, and so I'm gonna wait for him to dry. I'm gonna work on his other side. Just kind of working on the people. With the Yeti, I made the. You mean want to make a fresh new Yeti? I mean, I'm almost out of tape. I have no more tape. I gotta go get some tape. I gotta go brave this snowstorm. Go buy some more tape so I can make this Yeti. I'll make another Yeti. I mean, I have a couple of creatures, but let's see. Let's see here. It's gonna just work on this lady real quick. Let's see. Gonna just kind of give her eye sockets and stuff. I think I make some bigger eyes. It's like. So what she has milliput. She's covered in milliput, and I'm gonna just kind of use this. Normally I just use my hands, but you know, let's use some of these cool tools. And I went all the way out to Long Island just to get these things so I can use it. So let's give it a shot, shall we? This right here. So let's go ahead and just kind of make her eyes. This right, like that. You know, I should probably look at some kind of reference or something. Some kind of reference or some kind of personally thing. You know, worst case scenario, if I mess this up, which, you know, it could happen. I could actually, you know, take her face off and start all over again. But I think what will happen is that I might actually do a good job this time. So I'm believing to do a good job because last time I'll show you what I made last time. She's scary. I made this one. And she's like, yo, mom. So that's the one I made before. Let's do that real quick, shall we? All right, so that's that one there. You do have a YouTube channel? Okay, that's great. What I'll do is I'll follow you back, and I can't really do it now, unfortunately, because you know I'm kind of doing a live. So, but what happens when I get done? I will go ahead and follow you back. That's so cool. See, the whole thing about YouTube channels is great because you get a chance to actually make some cool stuff, you know, and you get a chance to do this. And I think what's the other cool thing about the whole YouTube channel thing is that you get a chance to have something that lives on, you know. It's almost like a legacy type thing, legacy type material where you get a chance to actually. Let's see, make this. Okay, there's a nose there. There's a nose. Okay, there's a nose. Okay, because you get a chance to actually make like your stuff, and you have a legacy that'll live on. And so a friend of mine was telling me, because he got a chance to write a book, and so I did a shout out to his book, because my friend's named Jonathan. And what happened? He did a book, and what he said this thing was like, you know, in certain cultures, you only live on when you have like a book, you have children, and that's how you have legacy. You have a legacy of having kids, of having and then having a job, or you plant a tree. He said 3 things: you have children, you write a book, and you plant a tree. And those are the things that will live on beyond you. And I think there's a lot more stuff than that, but that's actually a take to kind of think this through, you know, about things, you know, about how things work out. Because you have it where, you know, if you ooh, do you play Steel Brain Rot? Why do I have a do you play Steal a Brain Rot? I don't know. What is Steal a Brain Rot? I'm not sure what that is. But what I was saying before, like the whole thing about legacy is that you have it where your life goes on beyond you to do something that's gonna like change society and change the world and make the world a better place, you know? And that in of itself is amazing. And something there that's amazing because, you know, when you really think about it, how life works, you have to like really consider that, you know, we are here for a time. You know, God put us on earth for a time. And I was just listening to this rant on YouTube, on Instagram a little while ago, and the guy was saying about why are we here? What's our purpose? You know, talking about the really tough questions. He actually had it's a Roblox game. Oh, I don't play Roblox. Yeah, because like, you know, well, pretty much, I don't have unfortunately I don't have time to do it. But it's like when I do video games, it's kind of like one of those things where I only do like video games that I'm not have to pay or connect it to the internet for. Like, for example, when I do the Minecraft game, it's not online, like multiplayer and stuff. It's kind of like online but just online, like in terms of like it's on the computer, but it's not like connected to Wi-Fi, and I'm just playing with other people on the system. It's like just one of those things where it's like, you know, it's kind of the thing where it's like, it's let's see if I get this right. It's just a thing where you have it where I play games that are not connected, so I don't have to be like in need of connection when I play. Because that's one thing I always hated was having to load stuff. Like for example, when I want to do YouTube things, it loads, and I'm like, oh goodness. And it only works when you have really well when you have a good connection. So for me, it's like I don't really like the whole aspect of like having to play a game where you have to load. Like there's some games that I have that are on the PlayStation, like this one, like a ship game where you're like kind of a captain of a ship or something like that. And it's like it was my birthday on the 23rd. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday! That's always cool. Birthdays are great. So then, what happened I was saying before was like just the whole aspect of like, yeah, the certain games, and then whenever it had to load, I would lose connection, or I'd be in a tournament or something, and I'd lose connection. I'd be like, oh, okay, you lost the tournament. I'm like, oh, that's just great. That's just wonderful, kind of thing. And I hated that. I really, really hated that. So, it looks like a Venom girl. Huh. Oh yeah, what happens? I gotta like get these eyes just right. So the thing is like I have to kind of like I have to see. The thing is like it's I should really look at a reference or something, or a reference of a person, but then what, just don't stress, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't think about it. Just do it. All right, so there, trying to get her chin just right, and a little chin. They say if you have too much of a chin, you get old. If you have no chin, if you have a little tiny chin, then you're young. And it's like it's all about the nose and the chin. That's how it is. It's about the nose and the chin, and you have that like there with that. And then so you have it where it says, let's see if I can make it just right. Let's get this good. Let me just oh goodness, I need a reference. Let me look at something. Let me look at a picture of sorts. Ever notice that you try to do something, you just have no picture? That's just how it is. It's weird. You have to kind of figure things out. Okay, so see, and so what happens is like I gotta give the eyeballs so that she has eyes, so that her eyes don't like totally like become like a monster, and then I have to kind of like just give her the nice like cheekbones and stuff like that, so it doesn't become like a thing. So you have to have like precision. This is like, I think this was one of the good investments to actually buy about me saying to subscribe to you. Oh, that'd be so nice, but you don't have to do that. You have to go out of the way. If you want to, go right ahead. That'd be so cool. I'll definitely subscribe to you. It's like one of the cool things. This is just me, just riffing. I'm just here, just making art. That would be great. I would really appreciate that. If you want to do that, and since you already suggested, I guess yes, if you'd like to do that, that'd be great. I will greatly enjoy that and appreciate it if you did. So, thank you for doing that if you did. Let's see. That'd be cool. Okay, thank you. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm still like kind of just working on this thing here, and then ask me more questions if you like. We live here in New York. Pretty much, I here with my family. I took a personal day today from work. Pretty much I've been working where I work for some time now. It's been cool. I work at the airport. And then so it happens like it makes sense, how much I love airplanes and vehicles and machines and stuff. It's just kind of like the whole aspect of like just working on sculptures and things. This is fun. This is cool. King Julie, what is your YouTube channel about? Like, what's your main topics? Feel free to just kind of tell us on here. Tell us about what the stuff that you do. Okay, and then she has to have the ears. Carve out the ears. Make sure I get this eyebrow right, because like when this thing's hardened, it's like it gets like. Okay, let me see if I can make a little eyeball. Do this real quick. Like eyeballs right there, and then eyes, and then see how this is. All right, let's see. Yeah, just like just two. Well, I like to draw and stuff. Well, that's cool. Drawing's always cool. You know, I like to draw too. It's like I don't draw too much with on my channel. My channel is more like a sculpting, but like pretty much drawing is always fun. Let's see, put an eyeball inside her head. I am Borg. All right, see that there. That's I am Borg. Let's see. You know, we watch a lot of Star Trek, and so the thing is that we do a lot of like watching like Star Trek and not the new stuff, the old stuff, because the old stuff we just got through the Next Generation. And sometimes for short, I like to make funny videos. And my son does that. My son likes to make like a lot of cool like videos with regarding like he makes like a 2D drawing. I do a lot of when I do stuff. I do like Blender. I do like Blender, and I do Blender 3D animation. You know, I'm very staunch against like, you know, the AI art. I don't like AI art because I always think it's like that's kind of a thing where it takes away a job from an artist, you know. And it's kind of like the whole thing. I guess the horse and buggy people had to fight too. They were protesting against the you know, they too were protesting against the horse and carriage people were protesting against the cars when it came into power. But you know, the thing about the horse and carriage thing was like, you know, it made it better for people with regarding travel and also better for the horse. But I don't know if it makes it better with the AI stuff, you know. And sometimes I live in New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey, that's cool. That's not too far. We are cousins. We're close commutes, you know. That's pretty cool. You know, I have a school for like making stuff with masking tape, and this is kind of like, you know, I enjoy making stuff. Let me see if I could just get her face right. See, I'm not much of a clay person. I'm more of a masking tape person, right? So I'm always making stuff with masking tape. So that's why it's kind of like if I get this, because it's probably accident. I don't know, but I have to give her like the cool Jersey. So you can take a piece there and see maybe I could take it from the shoulder and see if I can make some eyelashes or something. Let's see, maybe we could smooth this out, make some eyelashes. See, because you have to like, you can't just have a person's eyes just like that. You have to give them some kind of an eyelash of sorts, you know. And there's 2 pieces for an eyelash. Let's see if I can just make this real quick. It's like if I do this, like it's gonna be scary. I just know it. All right, let's see if I can do it. I have to cut this down. This is too big. It's too thick. Cut it down. Make 2 pieces. All right, let's do little scraps. Let's see if we can just kind of. Oh, you know what I can do? Oh yeah. Okay, let's do this. See, this is the thing about when you have to kind of think of your situation. You have to kind of think it through, and then you have to kind of make it work for you. You know. So here's what right? So you have this, and here I'm trying to make this work. So you have that there, right? And just there. And then what we're gonna do is just gonna cut it. I have my trusty dusty X-Acto knife over here. It's within striking distance, so I'm just gonna grab it real quick. Come on, where are you at? Yes, it's striking distance, you can't find it. I have it in the bottom of this container here. Come on, baby. Okay, I have to put this down for a second so I can grab it. Hold on. Here it is. Ah, yes. X-Acto knife. Yes, X-Acto knife. This one, let's use this one. See, so I have this here. You got like a little bit of a round surface, which is perfect. Oh my goodness, this is so happy. It makes me so happy because what happens is that, you know, I have I never quite use too many you know, tools, you know. It's kind of like never quite use too many tools because I'm always like working on stuff, you know, and I'm usually using it by hand. So here am I working with gloves or an X-Acto knife and trying to make this thing work. Let's see, so let's give it. It's got a nice little thin eyelash. Oh, come on. All right here, nice little thin eyelash. Or eyelash, or like eyelids. Come on, baby. All right there. No Wakanda forever. All right. Oh goodness. Let's broke the piece out. I just fell on the floor. Of course. You know, I've been looking at some different African art and stuff like that, And I've seen that they do a lot of like really cool artwork, and it's just like it's kind of the same thing with the artwork. And I was just like, it's so cool how people do any kind of artwork, any kind of anything, because it's like, oh dag, I'm gonna have to focus for a little bit here. Can you see this? Can you see this? All right, cool. I posted the video. Oh wow. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me get the other eye. I keep making all this weird African art, man. Let me get this off of this thing here real quick. Alright. The point was to see if I can get it to like, oh goodness. The point was to see if I can get this to kind of work around this. I have like a couple things I'm gonna work on today. I'm gonna work on my Etsy, and then I have I have a TikTok account, and the TikTok I usually kind of sum up, and I spend a lot of time on Legos. Legos is my other jam. I like making stuff. I was always, when I was a kid, I was wanted to be like a Lego maniac and stuff. And then I had all these Lego sets, and they never had animals back then. There was no Lego animals. You had to make the animals. And then the first thing they had was a Lego Pirate set that I always wanted, and I could never quite get it. I never could quite get it, you know, the whole Lego thing, because it was like, it was one of those things where when you got it, it was when you got it, it was one of those things where it was too expensive. It was like, there's no way you're paying for no $100 set, a $79, $100 set for Legos, you know? You have to wait till you get older for that kind of thing, you know? Because what happens is, like, when you're doing it as a young person, you don't have money at all. You don't have any. Like they said, kids don't have money for the expensive sets that they have today. So I got a couple of Legos, most recent, and it has been really good. I must admit, it's cool having it, but I didn't play with them. I use them more for investments. There's a couple that I did have, like for example, like the Back to the Future set. I bought like two of them, and I got it on. So pretty much I got it for the purpose of opening it up and seeing it, as well as the purpose of like holding it. Oh goodness. All right. So, this is the thing about that. Here we got this situation here where this, you have the, just trying to get this just right, just right, just right there. This is like, I don't know what kind of, it's like a piece of plastic or a sponge. I'm not sure, but let's go and make sure I get this mouth just right, you know? And then the lips, get the lips just good, because the lips is kind of like, you have to get the lip to push up before it hardens. Right. Oh, I'm not even on camera. I'm not even doing camera. Okay, right there. Okay, there. And then just kind of like, I hope I'm doing this right. It's like, there's no right way to do, a wrong way. I mean, I guess there's a wrong way to do this. So let's see if I could just make sure I do this before it hardens, you know? Because like it starts to, oh my goodness, it looks like a monster. Thank you so much. So like, let's see, we have all right, let's see, get this face here like this, and let's see, get this face just right. The thing is this, right? I think what it is, I think I'm trying too hard to kind of follow the normalcy of life, and I should just totally just enjoy the ride. That's what I should do. Because what happens is that when you start doing stuff, trying to make it like exactly like how you, I don't know, just do it. Just do whatever. Just enjoy the ride, you know? What do you do for work? Well, I work, see, what is your job? My job, I work at the airport. I work like a janitor at the airport. It's like a technician type job. Very technical. We solve problems on a daily basis. Whenever there's a situation that comes up, we have to kind of take the opportunity to solve problems. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool job because you wouldn't think that. And what happens is like when you do that, you work as a janitor, you get a chance to. It depends on I guess which bathroom you work in, right? And so what happens? We work on cleaning and the appearance of the place that we're at. I can't specifically tell you where I work in the airport, but I can say that it's a pretty secure location, so you don't get people like off the street to use the bathroom a lot. You get it like there's high security. Yeah, thank you. It's high security, and it's a job where you get a chance to spend time thinking. It's really like a cool job in terms of like the people I work with. My managers are pretty cool. There's some pretty cool and some people that I work with, as well as the toughest part I would say is just kind of having to get up the time I have to get up in the morning. That's the toughest part, but I've kind of got that down to a science now, and I've gotten it to where I'm just really chill with it. It's not a struggle that I really have anymore. At first it was, but then what happens is like you kind of get used to it, and I'm just close enough to where I can ride my bike, and but not far enough away where if I were to walk, it would take a long time walking. But if I could ride, and so especially now with the whole snow thing, it makes it kind of difficult to travel because when you travel on a bike or travel on foot, you got to trudge through like mounds of snow. And I'm just like, I had just injured my foot last year, and I just the whole trudging through snow business is not ideal. So I'm still kind of working through all these different things, just kind of working through different things and try to be like, the thing is like you have to kind of make the nose smaller. Let's see, make this just right. Just make this just right. You wouldn't understand how in a sense difficult it is to work with clay. You would think that clay would be so easy to work with, but in fact, it's very difficult. It's like because I mean, like I have to like try and get this right before it hardens, and this Jammy is wanting to harden. Her face is like really trying to harden and stuff like that. So that's like very difficult. Let me bring this camera down a little bit more so it's like the lines under the chin. Make sure that's there because see the thing is our eyes get bigger as we get older, and so does our ears, and I haven't given her any ears yet. So the thing is like just kind of have to smooth her face out. Yeah. And I'm wearing gloves too, so I'm a little disconnected from the art piece. Let's give the forehead line. Let's see if I can just make this move right there. Use some of this make ears for her. And gonna have to like work on the other side too. Just kind of smooth that down a little bit. Give her some ears. So your ears work in sequence with your eyes and stuff like that. So your eyebrows and your nose is how big your ears are. Just remember that. Right there. And so the person is like, when a person is young, they have cute little button ears. But when they get older, people get older, they have like ears that are like, your ears get nice and long. Nice big earlobes and stuff too. So there you have that. And so that ear came out really nice actually. It just kind of flowed and turned just perfectly, just to the right, right dimensions. Just like it can't be me because when I go on other videos, it doesn't glitch. Okay, I'm gonna raise it up because I think what happens is I'm lower. I think I'm lower. I'm working with a tempered signal. My own signal doesn't work so well from where I'm located in this building, and so the thing is like it's like I have to kind of raise it up higher. It's like Doc Brown. It's like, I see what you're saying. Okay, so that's the thing. So it might be me because what happens like when I had it lower, it says might be bad if it keeps pausing. Yeah, it might be because I'm blocking my own signal because like the signal kind of goes through behind me to get to the surface. And so what happens is like I might have just kind of blocked it up some just by, so let's see, so you can get this here. Okay, let's see this. Let's see. At least I can just kind of, okay. Let's see. Is it better now because I have it a little higher? So let's see if it's better that way. Right, oh, here's a nice piece there. Okay, let's go ahead and give it the. All right, so then it might just be me. Oh no, her ear just fell off. Dang, where did it fall to? Oh no, ear. Oh no, where did it go? man, her ear just fell off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna like make a new ear because this one fell on the ground. You know what happens when things fall on the ground, right? Okay, so can't be too prideful about nothing. Can't be too prideful about nothing. Make your ears go. So I was wondering about that. I probably should do the stuff. Everything falls on the ground. I like Legos too. Legos is pretty cool. Legos has where'd you fall to? That's the problem. Okay, there it goes. Right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, Legos are cool. Sorry about that. Legos are a cool investment. When I first started with it, it seemed like a very cool thing because it's like they were just kids' toys, and but then now it's like they make Legos into like big old artifacts and stuff, and some kind of specialty thing where you have to kind of like, it's a thing where you're now it's no longer just like a kiddie thing. It's now like a thing where you have to it's a nostalgic thing, Like for example, I just got the other day, I just got Gremlin. I got a Gizmo one, right? So I have it on my TikTok, all the ones I got, but I got a Gizmo one, and that was like pretty much cool, But that was like it's totally nostalgia bait, totally just trying to catch us people who are from the 90s and stuff, the 80s and 90s and 70s, 80s and 90s, to to just caught up on the He-Mans and all the nostalgia stuff, because they said that what happens that they kind of doing this thing to us where like we trying to figure out meaning, It's kind of thing where people are trying to figure out what meaning in life is, and doing stuff. So like what happens is like you don't just go to work and work a job and then play video games and stuff. You want to find something that's going to give you like a good memory, and that's kind of like how it is for me a lot, because dinosaurs and stuff, oh, that's always cool. There's a big YouTube a big TikTok element where people just they absolutely love the whole Lego thing. So there's a big element of people who follow, and you could probably get a really good following on TikTok. There's probably a good following here on YouTube too as well, of Lego stuff. So I haven't posted that many things of Lego, because Legos are, it's interesting because TikTok has this way where you do it for like 15 seconds, but YouTube has a thing where you do it and you have to do like a 3-minute video or like a long form video, and long form videos are ones that people actually like to watch. People like long form watching stuff, So it's like, oh my legs. People enjoy the long form videos. Trying to make a beautiful girl and making like an old lady. What's up to this, right? I guess old ladies are beautiful too, right? Or maybe they once were, or they still are. I don't know. Depends. But for the most part, though, it's like there's that. Her ear just fell off again. I just lost her ear again. Okay, I'm gonna have to just kind of focus a little bit better. Let me just see if I could make her face younger, right? Just a little younger, because she's a little too old for her face. Her body is younger, but her face is much older. Let's see if we can. Let's shrink this down, shall we? I have all these people inside my head that live in my head, so it's like kind of that's why it's probably good to have a reference. I should have done a reference of sorts, but I see here that. Let's see if we could just get this to kind of mesh. Yep. So this is kind of the scenario there, and this is also hardening too. So I have to kind of like, let's see, I can do this. Okay, watch. Get the eyes. Okay, and then let's open the eyes up a little bit. Open the eyes a little bit. Then this one here, open the eyes a little bit. All right, and then kind of bring this down a little bit because it's a little too much bags under the eyes, right? Let's kind of make it just nice and smooth, or just a little bit there. I don't know if you can even see. Okay, like there. Okay, you can see that like there. Okay, cool. All right. Wow, it's an hour already. I saw that body paint. Yep. Body paint is cool. Yeah, I do a lot of body painting art. Yeah, a lot of people like enjoy that, and I happen to enjoy it too. It's because it's something along the lines of like you get a chance to be free, and you get a chance to be like a superhero for just a few hours, and you have like a superhero type existence where you get a chance to just like be there, and then you get a chance to like you wash it off and you get to start again fresh with new, and that in of itself is amazing, and that's why I think it's great. So yeah, it's like And the thing is, like, being in there at first, you're like, oh my word, it's so, and then it's like 10 seconds and you're like, okay, this is boring, and that's what makes it like so cool, because most people don't even get to that point where it's boring, and that helps people to deal with all kind of, because now it's like, all right, now you realize it's really not much to it. It's really just a matter of, you do this thing, and when you do it, you really you the mindset of, like, you're trying to just, you know and so, for example, as a an artist, right, I get to paint the people, and I get to be painted as well. I get painted, all right, because I always say, like, it's not fair for the artist to just paint people and not have the experience themselves. So otherwise you're just like, kind of like, I guess, I don't know, I was considered like cowardice if you don't do what you make other people do, then you are a coward in a sense. But if you are able to do what other people do, then you can say, okay, I did it, I've done it, I can do this, you know. But for the most part, though, if you just, I always say, like, if you're gonna paint somebody, then prepare to be painted, you know. And that's how it is. You can just be like, not, you know, because it's just, I feel as though it's a good thing to, to experience the art that you inflict upon other people. So if you're gonna make beautiful words or poetry, prepared to have people speak poetry to you. Be prepared to have people talk to you about stuff. That kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, it's like, people want to emote and share their arts as well, and it's just a matter of just not just being a one-sided thing where one person does it. So you could do it to other people will be able to paint you too. That's my philosophy. I feel like that's a philosophy, because it's like, like, if you're a boss, you should be a good listener, as well as a good employee, I guess, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's something there. So, definitely, trying to see if I can get this to stay put before it hardens up, which is great. Then definitely give her all the curves and the paintings and stuff, because, you have to kind of make sure that you do this before it's too late. It has such angry face. I guess I could make it just a little better. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah, this is pretty, like, interesting. That's where I can get this just to do this really good here. I think it's a matter of just kind of like practicing. The more you practice, the better you get at it. So this is me working without any references. Just kind of like working from memory without any references. A sharp little chin. Make this chin just a little bit better, right there. It's weird. Like, on the thing, it's one thing. On the camera, it's a different thing. Let's see if we get this just right. Yeah. Let's see, get this chin just right. The chin. Come on, smile. Let's see, get this here. All right, this is pretty difficult, but let's see if I'm gonna get it just right. This is a very difficult thing to do. I just gotta just trust the process. You know what I'm saying? Trust that process. Just trust it. There you go. There you go. It's much better. Get this little chin all smoothed out here. And get that sharp jaw. Get that sharp jaw. Get that sharp jawline. Spit a phrase. Get that sharp jawline. Yep, there you go. Look at that jawline. That jawline is serious. So anyway, so this is pretty much how it's been. I'm gonna just fix this face up a little bit. Kind of just. It's so cool that I was thinking about like watching the whole thing with Sam Raimi and the whole thing with Bruce Campbell and how they came to be and how they were best friends working on different things and how he was like in a Spider-Man movie and stuff, you know, and how they work things out. And I know it's just amazing that, you know, the Spider-Man got to be Spider-Man and they got to be a different Spider-Man and a Tobey Spider-Man, which is so fun. And looking back at it, like, wow, they did a really wonderful thing together. Right, so then you have this thing here, and people have their foreheads, so I have to make sure that I'm totally off the screen. So you have this here with kind of his face, like Christopher Lloyd for some reason. I don't know, just making a dark brown. Ay, making a dark brown. Gotta make it like the cheeky cheekbones. Not trying to make a dark brown. It's just kind of happening that way. Gotta get that thought out of my head. Thinking about Back to the Future. Remember when 2015 came around? That was so cool. And then they had all the Back to the Future stuff because that's when Marty was supposed to go into the future. That was a cool time. That was really cool. 2015. Oh, goodness. Come on, I gotta fix this up. Before this all hardens and turns into this ugly man, I need to make it into a pretty girl. Alright, let's see. How we gonna do this? First and foremost, your eyebrows. Like, oh goodness, let's work on your eyebrows, right? Alright, let's see what we can do. You know, it's hard to do this with the camera, by the way. It's like when I'm doing the camera, I have to turn my head right around the camera to see, because it's like, you know, what's on the camera looks different than when I see it in my eyes, you know, so I have to kind of turn my head around the camera and then just kind of like right that and make our eyes nice and happy. Or is it scary eyes? Oh my goodness, I'm making Golem now. Great. I got him. Never forget, they had this award show, you know, and it was weird. It kept on like cutting away the commercial They had different people get up and talk about stuff, and it was a weird award show, long time ago. I'm not sure exactly when. And why is her face? It's like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I could just make it like, you know, it's just. I'm gonna get rid of your mouth real quick. Let's just get rid of it. Let's go. Let's just bruise it out. Take your mouth right out. Just go. Just get rid of it. Start fresh with a new mouth. The mouth just doesn't work. Just doesn't work for me. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right, let's do that. Like a golem, my goodness. All right, there's that one. All right, let's move that out of the way. All right, good. Good. Now you have no mouth. Mouth, let's go. All right. Oh goodness, and your ear's about to fall off too. So, all right, there's that. Okay, let's go and just do this right. So, let's smooth this up. All right, let's smooth this up. Let's go ahead and smooth. Let's just start again with the whole face thing real quick. There. Let's do like a Spider-Man type thing. Like that. Let's make our chin good. Like that. This and this and this. This and this and this. All right. There. Now let's go ahead and break it up. Let's see. So now you have, I think it's one, the mouth. Right. Mouth. Then you do the bottom of the mouth, which is like under the chin. Right there. And then you. Looks like an old man. What's up? Why are you such an old man? Okay, there. I'm gonna push the lips up a little bit. I'm gonna cut this bottom lip down right there. I'm gonna push it up too. Right. Make art. If your art makes you panic, I don't know. All right, so there's that. That. I've had a lot. I had a really long morning. I did some shoveling this morning, and then I did like pretty much got a chance to work on some art today. Gonna go work on my Etsy a little bit, get that thing fully operational. And then I change up my link tree. My link tree is a little too messy right now. Let's simplify it. Someone told me that last year. He said, you know, your stuff is a little bit too complex. And I said, yes, I realized that. And I always thought people would like to know more complex stuff, but now I'm realizing that pretty much simplicity might just be the way of the future. Just make everything simple, you know? Don't make things too complex, because sometimes people can't just follow complex stuff, you know? It's a matter of being simple. Just simplify, you know? And then when you do that, it just makes it better. Let's see, you could do this real quick. I'm having a hard time with this, let me tell you. Okay, well, you know, that's what you do. Struggle through until you try until you triumph, someone said. All right, try until you triumph. Don't give up. Don't give up. All right. Try until you triumph. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. Starting to get there a little bit more feminine, as opposed to, you know, just straight up, like, you know, weird dude face. See, the thing is, like, this is like hardening, right? So I have to like kind of like work quickly before it hardens too much. There you go. Let me tell you, this is difficult, okay? All right. This is not an easy contabulation of things. Gets very difficult. All right, there you have that. Okay, there it goes. Right there. All right. Tell you when God does this, God does it. He did it so well. Everybody is made perfectly for a task to complete in this world. You know? So when he makes a person, he made everybody perfectly designed for their perfect role to complete a perfect task. Me, I'm just making a person, and it's gonna harden up to where it's gonna be like, you know, you're not gonna be exactly sure. You know? But for the most part, though, that's kind of what you can do, you know? So smooth. Like she's been. Oh goodness, her ear came off. I just lost her ear. Okay, just fix it back on. She's been through some stuff, man. She's been through some hard times. But she's not like a little kid, you know. She's like, I gotta fix this jaw part right here. All right, let's see. Got the jaw. There you go. I spent a lot of time on this one today. Just kind of like a lot of just kind of focusing on this one. All right, here we go. The jaw. Jaw. 119. Okay. 119 minutes. Let's fix up your neck, shall we? Alright, your neck. Feels like a. Okay, this started to look really good. Make sure you got your ears. Alright. You're right. Okay, so we have this. She's looking much better now. I have to give her more hair, but definitely she's looking like a human female. It's looking better as opposed to looking like Doc Brown a little while ago. Hey, welcome back, Angeline. Okay, so here's this one. a lot better than what she was before. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see. It's got to get this a little bit more defined here. This is a lot of ink, a lot of things here. I'm just gonna smooth this out before it gets too much to work with. All right, so pretty much I am almost done here. Let me see. We check on the Yeti real quick. I'm gonna let her sit for a little bit. In just a few minutes, let me just make sure I get her chin right, which is all good. So when it goes to the hardening process, it's a really cool process. All right, there. I'm wondering if I was to spray it, would it be smoother? You know, let me give it a shot. There's a little bit of spray. Let's see. Let's see if that helps the situation. Maybe it might make speed it up a little bit. Might also make it smoother. Let's see. Maybe. Clay can be quite messy. It really can. I don't know if it helped or hurt, because I'll find out soon enough. How is that? I like them smells. Well, it looks better. Okay, my feet are hurting. Just sitting here. Oh my goodness, I gotta gotta work on some more stuff. Yes. Okay, cool. Alright, this looks good. This looks really good. Okay, get this little line out of the chin right there. Yes. 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 You're looking pretty good. Okay, so we have that. That pushes in just a little bit. Oh goodness. Just a little bit. All right, so what we have here is this. All right, so we have this. The lips are here. All right, this is what we have. Okay, so now, I don't know, it's just like almost there. It's like almost perfect, almost right, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes, there it goes. Perfect. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, this one's looking pretty good. Much, much better. But it's like you see it's starting to harden up a lot. So it's like I have only just a few more little movements I could do before I can't do anything anymore. All right. All right. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna stop for a little bit. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes. Goodness. All right, so I got this face here, and just trying to get this face just right. Be sculpting it just with some milliput, and I think it's coming out pretty good. I think it's coming out pretty good. Yes. I think this is good. Let me know if you think this is good. Or I need more work. Because I mean, like, for her face, just to get her face right, she looks like a lady and not like an old man. I think that's looks like a friend of mine. One of my many friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then just kind of like bring that nose back in a little bit. Right there, just kind of push it in. Push it in just a little bit. Yep, there you have it. And then a little too much baggage under the eyes, kind of smooth that sucker right out there. Alright, I wonder if I hit it with water, will I be able to smooth that some more? Because, like, I just a little sprayed before. Just a little spray again. Oh, goodness. Let's see what happens when people go tighten stuff on stuff. Oh, goodness. Okay. I might have to call it quits. I have a big old spill. Alright, well, I'll just spray this real quick. Just spray it real quick and then see if you can just fix it up. I gotta spill it. Well, it's a spill of water. But... oh, goodness. Let's see. Yeah, I should like see if I could get it focused to stay focused locked. Let me see if I can push that here. Show live video. Yeah. I'm trying to see focus lock. That's weird. All right, let's see. I don't know if water actually affects this thing in terms of like I can keep working on it as opposed to like just like I don't know. Just do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't question. Just. Mm-hmm. Wish I could just like squish this mouth just a little bit, make it just a little bit more pronounced. Is it the focus locked? Yeah, I think what happens is like I'm losing my signal, losing the thing, so I'm kind of like here blocking the signal. So let me just get this done really quick. Make the channel perfect, and then let's see. Go ahead and just finish this up. Smooth the face, smooth the jaw, smooth the jaw, smooth the jaw. Smooth the jawline. Smooth the jawline. Jawline. All right. I think that should be enough. I gotta make like a. I think that should be enough. That should actually do it. All right. I don't think I have enough really put to do the whole person, but all right. So here we got this one. Let's check out the. Let's check out the. Let's check out the what was it? The Yeti. Okay, so the Yeti. Take the Yeti. Take a look at the Yeti. Okay, there's parts in the back I gotta work on. See right here. Gotta paint the top of his head. He's still not dry. So I'm gonna call it quits here for now. Actually, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna call it quits right now. Thank you so much, King Julian, for being here. Pretty much this is what I got so far with the person. Let's see if I can just work on their face some more. I might have to grind it down with like a sander or something. But for the most part, though, it's perfect. Thank you all for watching. God bless you, and I will follow you back, King Julian. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.